Dear Anthony, dear Anthony, this is your Uncle Ed talking to you again and everybody else out there. The topic of this episode is social media. Social media. I freaking hate social media. But yes, it's necessary as an artist. It's necessary for the music business. Now, what to do? Well, you have to pretty much guard your intellectual property, and that includes your name, your band name. So if you're going under your name like I do, although I have bands, we have to have social media covered with all of our names, identities, projects, because someone else will come along and swipe it. Now, technically, the way the business has always worked, and I had to go through this myself, if someone says there's another Ed Pedersen out there and they try to start a music career after you've been releasing records, legally you're entitled to that. But social media is a little froggier, so it's just best to protect your identity. And that means if you have a band, you're an artist yourself, solo, whatever, you have to get out there and you have to have your devices covered. You have to be on Instagram. You have to be on Twitter. You have to be on Facebook. Doesn't matter if you participate on Facebook, if you hate Facebook like I do. You still have to have your identity as an artist protected. And you have to have it out there. So, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, whatever. Okay, I don't do Snapchat, but I did protect my identity by starting a Snapchat. Now, the problem that we have as artists in this society is that we're a 6-second to 5-minute attention span society. And what that means is, so on Instagram, for example, most people are just scrolling. Sometimes people do it deliberately. They're looking at Instagram because they want to look at Instagram. They want to see what other people are posting, what they had for lunch, their freaking pets. But as an artist, you have to promote what you're doing, but you have to make it interesting to them. So, first tip, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, have an image that's going to grab people's attention right away. Because you've only got them, especially on Instagram, but you've only got them for 6 seconds. After that, they're gone. They're scrolling, or you haven't caught them to even read what you've posted about. So you have to have an arresting image, something that grabs their attention and holds them just long enough to read your copy, whatever it may be. Now, what's your copy? Your copy should be tight and succinct and direct to the point, not fluffy. Don't go on and on about who produced it and this guy played on it and that gal, whatever. That's not going to get you anywhere. What you want to do is grab them with the image. When they see the copy, they're like, and you have to offer them something. Now, what are you offering them? Well, make it, again, succinct. Get a free download of our first single, Go Here, or something like that. You can even be more poetic. You can be more in depth, but you don't want it to be longer than really one quick, good sentence, because otherwise you're going to lose them. So, that's tip number 1, is to have an arresting image and a link where you're offering them something for nothing. You're giving something away, but you're also asking back. So you say, hey, here's a download of our new song. Please check it out and let us know what you think. This is the next stage of it, interactivity. You need to be interactive, not just with potential fans, but with anybody out there. And so this takes us to the next phase of Instagram, just liking everything or liking everything on Twitter or even Facebook. The way the algorithms work for these social media platforms, as I understand it, people aren't going to find you just by liking them. I don't think I've ever gotten somebody following me, which is the first step you need. You need them to follow you, right? You want them to follow you on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, you know. I don't think I've ever had anybody following me because I liked a picture they posted. However, as soon as I started interacting, and I understand this is time consuming, and my original hesitance on this was, man, I'm a writer and I'm a producer and I'm a musician, I'm an artist. I'm spending like 80% of my time on social media. Right, it's a pain in the ass. However, by interacting with them, then you're eliciting a response. It's the same thing when you're posting stuff for your projects. You're saying, hey, here's a free download, let us know what you think. You need to interact with people. You need to elicit a response because the algorithms change and people tend to find you more that way. And then, of course, you're interacting with new people who have friends and people are finding them, or people are interested in a particular band or a guitar pedal or a guitar or a restaurant, wherever you're at, and they start interacting. I've had a lot of people find me that way. So you need to post, you need to interact. Okay? It's very, very important. Now, another thing you should do is find groups, artists that are like what you do and interact on those artists' pages on all social media platforms. Find fan groups for that, like say shoegaze, right? So you say you're into shoegaze and you think your thing is shoegaze. Well, or emo, right? You're into emo. So go find emo groups on social media platforms and also online news groups and start interacting with them. And don't post about your stuff right away. Feel them out, get to know them, and this works the same with bloggers. You can't just jump on them and start pushing your stuff, but take a genuine, earnest interest in what's going on, if that's what moves you, and start bonding with them and getting to know them, and then eventually you'd be like, hey, I got this thing, I'd like to get your feedback on it. What do you guys think of this? And post a link for your band some months down the line. So interactivity is key to social media. Images, short, quick posts. And look, I'm guilty of this. I'll ramble on sometimes about guitar pedals and whatever, but that's because I'm not trying to promote anything. Okay, so do as I say, not what I do. Okay? But the news group thing is big, interacting with people. And finding, like, one of the things about our business is it's always a competition, right? But it's not really. Some of the most successful bands are people that, help each other. You stay at their house when you're in their town, but then when they come to your town, they stay at your house and you share the bills. This is how the business really should work. It's like cooperation because it's playing music, right? Playing. You should be having fun. So I've seen that you haven't been very active on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, man. YouTube, for the love of God, I've gotten more fans in the last 6 months from just doing and this is another recommendation. Do what you love. Like, I love guitar pedals. I love gear. I know a lot about it. So I've been sharing some of those insights and tips with people on YouTube. Also trying to save them money so they don't spend all their money on gear when they don't need to. You really don't need to. So, and saying, hey, look, here's what I've found that works. Here's it's not expensive, it's cheap, or here's the easiest, simplest, least expensive way to do it. And I've gotten a lot of fans that way. And I've been doing this 30 freaking years. I have the same fans of my music I've had since the beginning, it seems, right? But I'm growing my presence. Hate that word, but that's what it is. So you got to get on YouTube, my man. You got to get on YouTube. Post funny stuff. Post stupid stuff. Post about what you're passionate in. And it can be done on your phone. I'm going to tell you one big tip. I have a friend of mine who was one of the head. He resurrected one of the biggest brands in music gear history. And, you know, he was over here. We were working together one time when he was over for NAMM. And I said, hey, you know, how do these people get these YouTube followers? And, like, what's the deal? I don't understand. Like, you know, is it the hashtags? Is it, you know? He's like, well, hashtags are important. And again, hashtag the crap out of everything you post. But he said, no, that's not it. It's frequency and length. So the people who were doing the best posted 5-minute videos. Again, we're a 6-second to 5-minute attention span. They were posting 5-minute videos, and they were posting them really often. And I was like, well, how did they do that? Like, it's expensive, you know, with the cameras and the microphones and the post-production and the lights, you know, all this stuff I've had to invest in. He goes, no. They're doing it on their phone. It's all about frequency and it's immediacy. And that's how to do it. So don't get hung up on, I need the $3,000 camera and lights and everything. Yeah, make it look good, but you know what? The phones, a lot of the times, some of the best videos I've gotten the most views on were on the phone. So immediacy, frequency, keeping it short, and again, stuff you're passionate about. But you have to share, Anthony. You have to share. You're a good dude. You're a likable kid. Come on. Everybody likes you. All right? So, and anybody else watching this, have your personality come through. Have it shine. Share it with people. Do it smartly. Do it succinctly. Do it often. Don't do everything. You know, like people posting all kinds of stupid crap all over. But, you know, stuff that displays your personality, your interests, your loves. Hashtag the crap out of it. Keep it short. Share it. And reach out to people who have the same interests that you have. Okay? So that's my quick video for this episode. There's a lot more I could cover, but I think that will get you started because I've seen you haven't been posting lately, so I'm worried about you. All right? All right. Got to get out there. So this will be the last video before I leave. I'm going across to London for a couple of months, but I'm going to do one more today and schedule it to automatically post while I'm gone because I'll be gone for a couple months. But again, if anybody out there has any tips, you know, strategies of their own, that stuff they've learned that I haven't mentioned, please share. Please share below. And I'll see you next time. All right.